So today, let's talk about cases. So far, we've learned about two different cases in Latin. We've talked about the nominative case, and we've also talked about the accusative case. And we have an English equivalent. When we talk about the nominatives, we are usually talking about the subject of a sentence. On the other hand, when we're talking about the accusative, we're talking about the direct object. So let's take a look at that in an English sentence. In my sentence today, I can see that my verb is like. Who is doing this action of liking? Well, that would be my subject, I. So this should be my subject or my nominative. On the other hand, what is it that I like? I like what? Well, I like cake. So this is my direct object or my accusative. But today I want to talk about a brand new case. This case is called the dative case. Dative. And this is going to be used for something called indirect objects. So let's take a look at a sentence with an indirect object in English. Here is my sentence. I gave Maria a book. So I'm going to put out to the side my three cases. We have my nominative, which I know is my subject, my accusative, which is my direct object, and my new one, the dative, which is my indirect object. So let's go ahead and figure out what we know. We know our verb is gave. So this is going to be, but who is doing the action of giving? Well, that would be I. So this is going to be my subject or my nominative. Now this is where it gets tricky. In order for us to find out what our direct object is, we have to figure out whom or what was given. So let's take a look at the sentence. I gave, well, what did I give? Did I give Maria or did I give a book? Now we have to realize what I'm actually asking here. What was the actual object that was given? Well, it was a book. I didn't go and give Maria to a book. I gave a book to Maria. So this is my direct object or my accusative. So that's a little bit tricky because now we have two nouns now. So what is Maria doing? Well, Maria receives this, my direct object. This is my indirect object. So this is the dative case or my indirect object. So you have to ask yourself, well, what is the verb actually doing? Did I give Maria or did I give a book? Let's look at another example in English. I showed my Latin test to my mom. Well, the easy thing to find is my verb. Who was doing the action of showing? Well, I was. So this is my subject or my nominative. I showed what? Did I show my mom to my Latin test or did I show my Latin test to my mom? Well, according to grammatically speaking, I showed this test. And this is my direct object or my accusative. And who did I show it to? Well, I showed it to my mom. So this is my indirect object or my dative case. Now, let's talk about what datives look like in Latin. Now, this chart is something very similar to what we've seen before because we've already know our nominative and accusative. So let's quickly fill this out. So let's look at our brand new forms. The dative form in the singular is AE, then IS, O, IS, IBUS. So you might be looking at this chart and thinking, well, hold on a second, some of these are similar. You're right. My AE and my AE are the same here. But we'll talk about the answer to this question will be context. You'll also see that this IS and this IS is the same. Well, I can tell you that that's not going to make a big difference because you'll be able to tell that it's always dative plural. So you don't need to worry about that one. It will actually just make your life a little bit easier. But let's talk about specifically going back to this one right here. Let's go back to some common sentences that we have in Latin. So let's take a look at my sentence right here at the bottom. Well, let's go to our verb because that's good for him. My dat. I see my T lets me know that my subject is a he, she, or an it. So it's singular. So I have to find something in here that's nominative singular. Well, I have puella, which can be nominative singular. And I can have femini, which can be dative singular or nominative plural. Because this one, my verb, is in the singular, I can only really use this one. I can only use puella because they match. So I know that femini is not my subject, but in fact my direct object. So let's translate this sentence. Puella, the girl, dot, is giving. Well, what is she giving? Well, I gotta find my direct object. Well, rosas is the accusative plural. Is giving roses. And then how do we translate our dative? You're going to add the word to or for. The girl is giving roses to the woman. Because remember, it's singular.